They have properties such as Shop Style, Fresh Guide, and Popsugar.com. Josh is their creative manager and producer that came on about a year ago to bring Popsugar into the social gaming world. Josh called me up. We worked really closely on this, and not only were they stressed for time, which was awesome how you guys did it in 5 days. It's absolutely amazing. But he calls me up. He's like, Ben, check out this integration, and he's like, wait a second, don't do that. And supposedly, which he now told me right before I went on stage, he's like, yeah, we mistagged an asset, and it made all the characters in the virtual world naked. Before we took it live, and I was like, that's amazing. So the ones that did have the clothes, it just looked phenomenal. Anyway, so to introduce our next finalist is Retail Therapy, Josh Mast.
So for those of you who may not be familiar with Retail Therapy, we don't have quite the reach that Tetris does yet, so I won't be offended. But I have a quick video just to sort of introduce you. What it is it's a virtual shopping game. It's a social game that lives on Facebook. And just a quick video here to sort of get you up to speed. The core of the game really is we have this fashion boutique that players can come in, they can decorate and customize and really set up their own store and sort of launch their own store. What's really important about this and what we allow players to do is all of the items that you can put in the game are branded. Everything in the game is branded, and that's really important, and I'll come back to that later as well. But what that does is it gives players a really sort of deep appreciation for the products, and it puts them in a place where we're marketing to the players, but the players don't really recognize that they're being marketed to. A big thing with advertising is that people get numb to it. Our consumers are really smart, and when they see the same banner ad over and over again, they just look right past it and they don't see it. So what we did is we created this environment, this world, where they can really have this stuff in front of them and not necessarily realize it, so they still engage with it, and we find that has a much bigger effect on them than a typical advertising. So what we do is all the items in the game and all the products our artists create. And I should hear everyone, so thank you guys for coming out. I'll pull you out later and embarrass you. But on the left, for all these pairs, you can see the left is the actual photo of the item, and on the right is the artist's rendition of that same item. Which, if you take a close look at, on the projector, it's kind of hard to tell. But I actually think the drawings look better than the real product sometimes. And that's some sort of great artists, and really the attention to detail that we put in all this stuff. Because it is branded, we take a lot of pride in the quality, and we make sure that we nail that because it's really these sort of brands, these are products, and they're very passionate about it, and we share that same passion, that same quality. And that same attention to detail goes into the stores. We have these virtual stores in the world for all these brands, and you can see the top left is a photo that one of our partners sent us, and then the bottom right is the virtual store that we created using those same assets and photos. So some brief stats about Retail Therapy. We have 1.3 million stores created. We have about 250,000 monthly active users and 33,000 of those are daily users. The key statistic on this page is really the gender distribution. 82% of our players are female, and 80% of them are under 45 years old, which is really our key demographic of the 18 to 44-year-old woman. And we have a great retention with them. They spend a lot of time. They spend 60 minutes on the site, and they come back a couple times a day. So we're really engaged, and they really seem to enjoy it. So talking about the brand integration that we did for Old Navy, we had a few things in mind. We knew we wanted to focus on the music integration and the music campaign. It's something that our players really had been asking for, and this was a perfect opportunity to give them better music, a more diverse music, and make the game a lot more fun for them. So it was a perfect opportunity there. We also knew that we wanted to enhance the gameplay, we don't want to disrupt. Again, going back to the advertising, when you have advertising in games, people know it's advertising. So what we want to do is make sure that it fit in a way that it didn't feel like we were advertising to the players. And I keep saying that because I think it's very important, and we always focus on that. The other thing we want to do is integrate in a way that they want to focus with the brand. We didn't want to sort of tack it on the end or seem like it's hammered on there. We wanted to do something that just felt natural and fit in the game world, and that they would sort of naturally absorb the content. So the first thing we did is we created a virtual Old Navy store. So we sent our artists down to the San Francisco brick and mortar Old Navy, armed with some cameras, and they came back with these photographs and sat down and they created this virtual store that you can see here on the bottom. If you've been to that store, I think you'll hopefully recognize this. We pulled a lot of things straight from it. You'll see all the same, the registers, the shelves, the racks, everything is taken from that store. And what this does is it really keeps that sort of brand experience and that feeling that the shoppers have in the store, they can now see it in the game, so it feels like it's the same world. And some fun things, we pulled out the Old Navy ticker for the store, threw a little teaser in there for the video. The video, we had another level of that, which when you first visited the Old Navy store, we gave you the opportunity to watch the video. That was important to give them the opportunity. We never want to force the players to do anything, but what we can do is we can subtly encourage them to do the things we want them to do by giving them money, because everyone loves money. So we said, hey, if you take a minute and watch this great video, we'll give you some in-game currency. And the players really responded to that. Not only did they want to watch the video, they were actually very thankful that we gave them the opportunity to watch this video and earn some currency. And they associate that not with us, but with Old Navy. So Old Navy got all the credit for that on our forums. All the players said, thank you, Old Navy, for showing us your video and giving us some in-game currency. So that's a good combination. And the other thing we did is we took the music and we put that in the store. So when you're shopping in the Old Navy store, we won't play the music because I'm sure you're all familiar. I know I've been singing the song in my head all week.
I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I should thank you for that. The whole development team has been singing that in the office. You got secrecy deep down.
Have you tried it in Spanish? It's worse. You'd be up at 3 in the morning humming around the
So what we did is when you enter the store, we have this music player in the top left which appears, which is actually a new feature for the game. And this points out a good thing that we want to do with our integrations, where it's a feature that we've already wanted to do in the game, and this gives us a great opportunity to do it and sort of the motivation to integrate it in a way that makes sense. So what this is the first time that we have sort of custom music in the game, and again, the players really responded to it well. They're super excited about it. I have some comments from the forums at the end that I'll show, but they just really enjoy it. And I think that's really important, and it makes it a really fun experience. It's definitely very different when you go to the Old Navy store versus any other store in the game because of the music in there. And they really enjoy that. So the second part of this is the products, obviously. So what we did is we took all the Old Navy products and we had our artists go through and show all of them. I'll step through them here. It's a little difficult to see on the projector, but hopefully what you can see is the quality. We actually had a funny moment when we were initially talking to Ben where we sent over some pictures and he thought they were just photographs of the products, and he's like, why did you send me pictures? I sent you guys these pictures. So that's, again, a testament to our artists and the quality that we try to hit, and the attention to detail we try to show for all the brands. And so there's just some more of them here. Some beautiful artwork. Another thing we did with the gift integration is we knew we wanted to give mannequins to the players. Again, this is something the players have been begging us for. We really want mannequins. We were very conscious of Old Navy moving away from the supermodel kins, but we felt like it was still something that players would like, so we wanted to incorporate some sort of mannequin. So what we did is we sort of created their own mannequins with the Old Navy products on them, not branded with anything, no supermodel kins or anything. But the players loved it. Again, great feedback. They absolutely loved the fact that we put this in. And once again, Old Navy got all the credit. They were like, thank you, Old Navy, for the mannequins. We love them. Absolutely. For all the products in the game, anytime you see a product in our game, an Old Navy product, you can click on that product, and it will take you to the Old Navy site, and you can actually see the real item on their website, and we drop you right in there so that you can add it to your cart and continue on. What we also do is when you buy an Old Navy virtual item in the game, we show you sort of a little hint to, hey, did you know that this item is also available in real life? And a little bit, hey, your avatar looks great in those jeans, and so will you. So go check it out in real life. And this takes you straight to the Old Navy store as well. As far as raising awareness, we're very fortunate at Sugar that we have this great content of Popsugar.com and FatSugar.com. So what we did is we co-branded all of the retail therapy ads with Old Navy to promote their pop-up shop. And we also hosted a contest on FatSugar, which is currently in progress, so you should all submit your avatars, to the best way to incorporate the Old Navy items in an outfit. So what we do is we have this contest. Players submit pictures, and we have the editors at FatSugar.com vote on it, and then we give them a prize in the game, some in-game currency, and a little section for their store. The last thing that we do here is some of the other branding that we have on the loading screen and the ads that we advertise with the pop-up shop. And what I want to do real quick is some of the data we had. We had over 200,000 virtual Old Navy items purchased in the first 4 days. On average, a player bought 2 to 3 items each. So not only did they come by and buy one, they came back and bought a second and oftentimes a third item. Another thing that was really cool is we had 40% of our players actually went and visited the Old Navy store, and 35% of them watched the video all the way through. And what's really cool about that is it's a very, for those of you who are from the traditional marketing world, it's very, very good conversion numbers. And like I said, it's positioned in a way where players sort of don't recognize it as marketing, and like I said, they're very excited about it. They get some currency, and it works very well. At the bottom, some player feedback from our forums. And I'll spare you the rest of the OMGs. But the point I want to convey is that they love it.